we're going into the drafting phase in the decider match. Ulfhednar going up against Insilio, best of 5. This out in the open. I was about to say Gato and Kacha as well. Just with one pick, you're already challenging Rosa. I gotta Gato Kacha. Do you dare to pick up the far stuff? Just with that one pick, you basically deny that pick. So now, Ulfhednar is more looking at the likes of the Valentina, the Aurora, the Vexana. Nothing like a Farsa that the Gato Kacha can disrupt.
I feel like the Valentina makes a lot of sense, but even more so, just get it out of the hands of Apex 47. We've seen him hard carry games on a roll Katon, doing so much more in that game itself that I think anybody can understand that taking it out of his hands is just more than enough. At this point, do they want to start threatening the jungle side? I feel like at this point, nothing is really set in stone. It's pretty flexible for Insilio, but instead, they're going to go with the initial flex pick and as well as lock in an early Harith.
I feel like this Harith is more of a comfort because they're really looking at Bruno and Harith. Both these heroes control the gold lane so much, they ask for respect. They ask for the rotation from the opposing side to come to the lane. If not, the opposing gold laner is going to get bullied. And if I find it interesting, as we're looking at the wild cards, Suyo and Alpha, they're good picks, but they're not super value at this point because the Nolan union, that Nolan has been a problem. And now the Suyo has been picked as well as the Bruno. We talk about Bruno, we talk about Harith, lane oppressors, and now the Louis picked up. But before that, we got a fun fact here. Harith boasts an impressive 89% win rate. 8 games, 8 wins in 9 games.
That is a very good stat to follow. Honestly, I thought that maybe Bruno was a little bit closer in that particular section, but probably the frequency of Bruno being played does affect its overall win rate. Now, looking at the first 3 picks coming in from both sides, it's understandable that Osprey is like, okay, we got to get rid of the Vexana. Just chuck it out there.
Something that's very much interesting. This hero is not in the meta, which kind of makes Louis a little bit stronger, where before it is, people pick up the Novaria for that vision to see where the Louis is coming from. Betting on the Vexana, I don't see a Novaria coming up, but now we got to think about what Ulfhednar really wants. Because we only have 2 bans here for Insilio. They're betting on the Tigreal. They're not aiming for the jungler because there's so many that's still open. Even the Joy. We haven't talked about the Joy, but the Joy is impressively strong.
Very, very good. I mean, people have mixed opinions about Joy because is it really an early game hero, but it definitely hits hard late, so maybe you punish it in the early, but at the same time, it's got enough base damage to stop it. So I think that it's undecided and requires a little bit more testing, and especially with a high-stakes match, I don't think they're going to touch it just yet.
Yeah. So right now, I feel like based on the game so far in the wild card, Ulfhednar might really want that Nolan. So I really want to see if Insilio respects that or ban out the Alpha or just like, we can't predict it, we're not going to let either of those go. And the Tigreal, by the way, indicates that they probably think that this show is going to the hands of Alien.
I think it's a good read because most of the time we do see Alien being the main guy who picks up the show. Throughout the past couple of years, 90% of the time actually. Insilio, on the other hand, after getting rid of the Tigreal, you think they're going to go for another support ban? I mean, they've already pinched it so hard at this point. And Matilda's already banned on the Ulfhednar side.
You are facing a cluster.
Interesting. Phoveus is still open, to be fair.
That's true, that's true. Ulfhednar right now, they already have the gold laner as well as the mid. I feel like with the bans, you're not fooling anyone where this show is going, so it won't be that punishing to pick up your jungler right now, but if they want to keep this up, then, you know, maybe pick up the roamer / DXP here. It looks like they're showing in Hayabusa. One of the heroes that we haven't talked about, but honestly, Hayabusa, in terms of games so far, whether ranked games or professional play, has been very, very impressive, especially in the games that Hilda is not present.
Yeah, I mean, especially with no early game disruption, it makes sense that you want to be able to strike the back line. They could go for the cleave, but it felt like Insilio was setting up for the Phoveus in the first place, right? They've already locked in the Gato, so they only can decide. Oh, Arlet as well as Valentina.
Arlet getting picked up here as well as the Valentina. I gotta say, a lot of mid-range damage as well as crowd control here from Insilio. Looking at their draft, they want to fight, they have the capability to fight. It's quite even when it comes to the damage as well as crowd control. And right now, in terms of catching the back line, Ulfhednar, they have a lot of options here. They got the Choke, they got the Louis, they got the Hayabusa. I want to see if Insilio, they want to move forward or be careful and actually cover all the flanks here because they have a very aggressive lineup at the same time. They got to play a little bit defensive when it comes to the draft that Ulfhednar is showing.
I think that Ulfhednar needs to show something that can actually force it out of them. I'm thinking Phoveus. I think the Choke can still go into that section, but in terms of support as well, it's a little tough unless you're talking about a rock that can open up a map. But yes, they go finally for the Phoveus at the very end here. I'm expecting Alien to get deep into enemy lines to force out maybe the final slash, maybe get Valentina to commit a couple of dashes before we see the all-in.
Ulfhednar, they hide it until it's just gonna slow each other down.
I mean, as much as I want to believe let's slow each other down, look at the composition.
Leo going up against Ulfhednar, the decider match. The winner goes to the Swiss stage. Winner fights against BTK. But before all that happens, They got to work it out. They got to win this one as we jump into the Land of Dawn for game number 1.
Good luck to both of our teams here. This is going to be a best of 5 to remember here at the finals of the wild cards. A Swiss stage slot open for one of them. Insilio on the blue side up against Ulfhednar on the red. Justinian going to be starting on his purple buff with TNZ on his orange. Same side of the map, probably heading towards the gold.
Yeah, so far every rotation, not a lot of variety here. Everyone starts on that EXP and then moving towards that gold. We heard from Zia from BTK that here it looks like a lot of people are fighting for that gold crab, and really it's just about getting that first item, especially on your jungler. Whether it be a War Axe, whether it be a Hunter Strike, it's very much impactful for you guys as well in terms of impact from the 18th of November to the 29th of December. Make sure you guys complete all active tasks to reach level 75. A lot of goodies are for you guys at home. Claws Battle Emote, M6 Glory, Avatar Border, Baxia's Battle Emote, Special Skin, Baxia Dauntless Shield for free, and much, much more.
Early engagement here. Kenzi's going to hit 4. We're expecting first blood to happen, but Apex 47 has to play a strong game. Good Shunpo to minimize the damage, but TNZ not using the Oki Shadow kill.
This is what I was looking at when I'm looking at the mid duo. They have a lot of poke. They have a lot of way to deal the damage, but not really a way to execute, not a way to finish it up. So I feel like both teams, they're just going to be slowing each other down, poking damage here and there.
Do you think there's an opportunity for TNZ to go for the Sky Piercer this time? I know that's not his favorite item to go for, and I know that he generally likes to play a little bit more for the damage in the later stages of the game rather than that execute threshold.
Something tells me after what happened yesterday, TNZ was very emotional. I feel like for the first game, he wants to get momentum. He wants to get his confidence. So I feel like he's going for a more standard build, and if he feels more confident as the series goes on, then he'll build Sky Piercer.
Hold on, Apex 47 already chunking out Justinian to with just 10% of his HP. This should be all the final slash, hitting 2 with a flicker, and now Alien gets into the middle of the fight. Rosa is able to secure the turtle in time. His first blood achieved. TNZ goes down with the help of the Valentina. Perfect Purify from Reaper to deny Alien the chase.
Well, that in a way answers your question. I kind of feel like Sky Piercer maybe not for this game. Wait a little bit for him to get more confident, but it's a good thing that Rosa was able to secure that turtle. But for me personally, 1 kill for 1 turtle, I would call that an even trade. I wouldn't say either or has won that one.
Yeah, so far we haven't seen much of momentum really being generated. It's still a 50-50 at this point of time. I'm trying to see whether the side lanes are generating any kind of effects. If not, some show of dominance. But the fact that we see that Maniac was able to actually keep up with Alien in that fight, I think that the EXP is more evenly matched than I thought.
Yeah, and looking at the lane bullies, both Harif as well as Bruno, they're playing very safe. If you're looking at the minimap, they're playing around the bushes a little bit more. They're really not showing their face because they basically want to ask who wants to make the first move.
It kind of feels like the EXP and gold rotations have kind of inversed, right? Now they're going to be a lot more chill in the gold lane when it used to be highly just push it out, rotate towards mid, get that second wave, and then come back.
Right now, honestly, between both teams, I feel like Insilio does have the better opportunity to set something up because even though Alien will rotate faster compared to Maniac, once Maniac has that flicker, he can initiate something. Compared to the Phobias of Alien, he can initiate, but in a way, he will put himself in so much danger that it might not look good.
Well, to be fair, Insilio does have the better quote-unquote counter-engage, right? I think that Ulfhednar, if they want to generate momentum, their execution must be clean, but we haven't seen a sudden rotation, right? The diversion hasn't been deployed yet by Rosa.
Yeah, I feel like this is more about waiting for those items because they want to make sure that if they go for something, they actually have enough damage. Reaper took a lot of damage.
Flicker. Nicely done by Apex 47, making sure that he's not wasting any time. Also getting the Purify out of Reaper as well.
Yep, and now the turtle is looking very good for Ulfhednar. Lovely, taking quite a bit of damage.
He's trying his best here. Maniac can technically push Apex 47 back, but he's not the priority target. It looks like they want to focus on TNZ for now. Give up this neutral objective. Insilio will not be able to control the space.
Yeah, but right now it's a very big advantage for Ulfhednar because they got 2 turtles. They were able to get first blood, and now it's on Insilio if they want to fight back.
Justinian is going to get hit first, but Alien is always part of these neutral fights. Rosa considering options to send his team and deploy them, but they can't read where exactly Insilio is going to be.
I feel like now that the Enchanted Talisman has been built by Rosa, it feels battle ready. Now if you want to go for a fight, he can really set up for his yin-yang reaction to make sure that he can actually block people in.
up the map here, already using his quad shadows, and Lovely is going to expose all 3 members coming in for Ulfhednar. Final slash coming through from Alien's side. GOA is going to be deployed, but no, he gets canceled just in time. Alien is able to flicker out of there, sending another one. Shunpo, oh, it still clips him at the very end. Apex 47 might just be going down, and the yin-yang reaction comes out too late.
Unfortunately, we can see the damage is not there yet. TNZ just got the Hunter Strike, and now he wants to go on Reaper, but the Shadow did not connect onto him. So now we can see Insilio does do a little bit more damage, either just better targeting or better placement. Either ways, right now, I feel like it's still 50-50 for both teams. Neither Gideon is really taking the risk here. Both teams, it looks like they want to fight for Lord. It's like a gentleman's agreement. Let's get our items and see who has the better mid-game.
It's an arms race, right? Build up as many items as possible. Ooh, Apex 47 trying to open up the map here with the help of Alien. Sunshine is nearby. I don't know if he wants to be part of this. Final Slash comes up to Alien's side. He's going to be going down so fast, and Don't is able to secure the kill. That's actually huge for Insilio.
Huge, and a mistake coming in from Alien. He wanted to open the map. He wanted to get vision. Apex 47 could do it. He has a lot of dashes. The Phobias, however, doesn't have a lot. And now 1v1.
Oh, the Oki Shadow kill comes on through, and TNZ plays it perfect, making sure that he's not utilizing that last Shadow. GOA is already going to be coming out, kicked underneath the turret. Final Slash unable to bail him out, and Apex 47 gets to live.
And 2 separate fights, both top side of the map and the bottom side of the map, both have been won by Ulfhednar, and now Insilio. They're looking like they want to have more aggression here, looking at Don't, doing quite a lot of damage onto Sunshine.
Oh, they spot him out! Maniac is going to get locked down here. Nothing he can do. Can't even throw out the Final Slash in time.
Everything is won by Ulfhednar here. They got a kill, they got a turtle, and now they got to take some objectives here. They got to take structures down to have more control of the jungle. This is where you try to slow down Justinian, Reaper, as well as Lovely.
Okay, do you think that invading the jungle is more important than the structural damage? Because
structure better.
Structures are better?
Especially the mid.
Especially the mid, because here we go. The first diversion coming up for the side for Insilio. GOA is going to be coming out towards Little Wanderer's side, and Alien is deep in the mix. Don't is trying to get on out of there. Revitalize already used, and Alien goes down once again as the mid-tier 1 collapses.
Hey, I would say that's worth it, man. But now...
Oh, it's going to be knocked up. Sunshine with no Purify is in a lot of troubles. The way the Dragon goes straight onto Arla. Sunshine ends up trading out regardless as Don't hits his second item power spike.
That was good reaction coming in from Insilio, making sure that Ulfhednar don't get things for free. Yes. They still have 1.3k goal lead ahead, but in this state of the game, it's still manageable. The fact that Insilio is showing that they can fight back is good.
Apex 47 going to get taunted up here as another tier 1 on the top side going to fall into the hands of Insilio. That Phantom Tax is going to be really important here for Insilio if they want to still maintain some form of aggression against Ulfhednar when the Lord ends up coming around.
I looked at the items, and so far, everyone is even Stevens, especially TNZ as well as Justinian. Even though Justinian is 2-1 and 2, TNZ is 1-1 and 1, and both having 2 items, working on the third one. So far, looking at the power scale here, both are looking very, very good, especially if we look at Insilio having more than enough damage to take down Alien, to take down Apex 47, but Alien's got to calm down a little bit, but because if he overextends too much, you're going to get to the point of the game where Alien is very, very much needed for those neutral objectives like the Lord. If he keeps on having this kind of habit, it might be more difficult for Ulfhednar to establish proper map control.
Well, I mean, that kind of depends, right? I feel like him going and slowing down his opponents when they are trading structures is a very good idea if he survives. He is going to eventually build up to a Thunderbelt anyway, so he wants to get involved.
Either ways, right now, the Lord has spawned here. Sunshine Tree 1-0. Rosa 0-0-3, now having the glowing one as well. So when the healing comes in from Lovely, he can actually handle it a little bit more compared to before.
Let's not forget about Justinian as well as Maniac. Both have inbuilt ways of sustainability. And you can see that the Cold War now continues. It's a battle of information, right? Once the full formation has been shown, I'm expecting Lovely to look for an engagement.
Oh, look at Reaper. Using the diversion. Rosa doesn't see it.
Ooh, maybe a little too late, unfortunately. Don't tries to go for the empowered auto, just not enough to reach. And no setup as well, but they do have full control over the Lord pit.
Oh, Rosa is looking for a diversion play here, but maybe they're gonna forget about it as the Lord is low.
Oh, they try. GOA does connect, but it's going to be Justinian who secures the Lord. Rosa finds the trade as Justinian takes down Apex 47. Alien needs to chase with the Infernal Pursuit right on top of Reaper. He can do this no problem, and he's gonna bring Sunshine to his side. They have split the Insilio battle line in half as finally Reaper goes down.
Good news, bad news. Insilio, God the Lord, bad news. They almost got wiped out. Even Justinian was zoned away by the Louis, by the mid laner, man.
It's tough. It's tough. I mean, Justinian's not building any MR. That yin-yang reaction is lethal to him.
Yeah, and right now, Ulfhednar, they deal with the Lord absolutely no problem. 9 kills to 6. Ulfhednar is controlling the map very, very well, and they're not overextending. They're making sure they're handling their waves, trying to make sure that they crash all together.
It feels like these 5v5s are split into 2 separate fights. It's going to be the engagers looking for each other's backlines, and the question is who is able to regroup first before they go for the full wipeout.
Looking at the goal difference, it's really the side lanes, both gold lane as well as EXP. A lot more goal difference there when you're looking at Ulfhednar compared to all the other roles. This does show some form of dominance from the side lane, which now translates, oh, Maniac looks like he's not going to get kicked, but...
Oh, the final slash does connect, but Apex 47 still walks out. The Zaman Force is going to be a very big deterrent. He is 5-1 and 2. BO5 is going to connect onto Rosa's side, but no follow-up from Insilio.
Yep. However, Sunshine did use that Purify. TNZ is waiting on the flanks here. Don't know if he really wants to be there. Right now, looking at player head-to-head for the gold laner, everything so far is looking good for Sunshine, especially the average KDA being 1 entire point up.
Wait, did they just miss it? Yeah, the TP does come through initially, and it's going to be Justinian who's getting out of the Apex 47 now, is going to have to pay for his sins. Insilio, their group up is working out against Ulfhednar.
I feel like that plan was a little bit half-cooked. They understood plan A, like how do you set up? Okay, we roughly understand, but what's the follow-up? What's going to happen after we send him there? Especially because Insilio, I'm pretty sure they saw it coming.
Probably walk by the bush here. Kenzie and the rest of the team is going to be clearing up that mid-tier 1, making sure that that structure holds strong to make sure that their entire jungle, and especially that purple buff, is going to be kept safe.
Despite having 3,000 goal lead, Insilio is actually holding their own very, very well. Looking at the items here, looking at Dawn, especially Bruno, having the Haas Claw, Berserker Fury, as well as the Malefic Gun, makes it so that he can join the fight and he's able to make sure that he can deal damage safely.
Apex 47 has been opening up the map effectively, and finally they get the kick towards Maniac's side. GOA to try and bail him out of there as Apex 47, just a sliver of health. TNZ comes in. Wow, Sunshine able to pop Reaper, no issues whatsoever. And Alien continues with the Infernal Pursuit. They finally disengage, but you can clearly see if it's a clean engagement and a good pickoff, Ulfhednar will find at least 1.
We gotta see how Harif has been winning 8 out of 9 games. That burst damage is absolutely lethal. At this point, TNZ just got to worry about hitting those retributions, because when it comes to the damage, Sunshine's got it.
All right, he's stepping up big time. He even dropped the Zaman Force early to zone them out. The final slash connecting on nobody. This free Lord falls into the hands of Ulfhednar.
Insilio, they got to think about how to engage here, because Maniac so far has had beautiful final slashes, but again, doesn't result in anything so far.
He's mad, stolen away the purple buff as well after taking the Lord to rub salt into the wound. A 4.9k so far for Ulfhednar, but what does Insilio need to turn this around? Because I feel like they're already struggling to commit to just Alien, because once that final slash is done, they don't really have much disengage other than the GOA.
If we're looking at creativity here, if somehow Reaper is able to take away the diversion, get an angle onto Sunshine, that could be an avenue that they could explore. However, I feel like it's easier said than done. The more realistic one is try to get Sunshine by someone baiting him out.
I mean, they need to get that Purify, that pesky Purify out of him first, right? If not, a lot of the counter engage is just ineffective because it's heavily around CC and not damage.
Lovely or Maniac, someone's got to make the call. Someone needs to be that sacrifice. Put your body on the line to expose Ulfhednar, and then everyone has to fight back. The problem is they don't have a lot of control here.
But now the taunts coming out from Lovely. They know that it's down. This is going to be a free inhibitor. And the Lord still with 60% of its health. They're looking for all 3 as they slow. Well, GOA going to be coming out from Lovely. Try and slow this down. Taunts on out of there as TNT looks for Justinian at the same time. Final slash connects on towards 2. Sunshine does not have his Purify anymore. Checkpoint mark 1. And now they just need, what? They have 80 seconds to find a fight against Sunshine.
For Ulfhednar, right now, I got to say, their best defense is their offense. Every single time we see Insilio try to move forward, the damage coming in from the Harif basically tells them, no, You
It's too
can't.
much.
It's
Yeah.
too much. Even Lovely, every single time you see the way that he engages, he jumps in with the Avatar of the Guardian and then immediately dashes back. He doesn't dash forward. He doesn't look for a target. And now TNC goes in just to get that cheeky mid-hitter and it goes back.
Oh, love it. Love it. BMI's quad shadows, it can all be utilized. A good call for Ulfhednar. Now, with 2 missing inhibitors, Insilio is going to have a lot of trouble because the Lord is spawning on the bottom side of the map, so the long lanes are exposed.
Soon is going to be all or nothing. Wait for Revitalize. Wait for the flicker on Maniac. Lovely, go in. Whatever happens, happens. Maniac, try to get a good angle, control the hurry, and then everyone just jumps in. Because it is coming to that point. You only have 1 inhibitor left. The Lord is coming up soon. Find an opportunity. Because if you don't, you already got to think about game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, the high ground defense isn't the best as well. The final slash does come out, but don't worry. It has a
Very
short
short
cooldown. 10 seconds from this point onwards for the next Lord to spawn. And I mean, these pushing waves here. Ulfhednar just showing how much that the macro is important just to cause more and more problems for Insilio.
And one of the problems is the one that really can handle the side lanes is just Justinian.
So far, Alien going to be chunked down to 50% of his HP here. Rosa's got to be really careful as TNZ is trying to bait out motions coming in from the side of Insilio's side. They know that even if they rush the Lord, it's just not worth their time. They got to be worried about their base.
Oh yeah, having the mid lane as well as top inhibitor being down, super minions will spawn. It's unfortunate. Mid lane, you can handle that, but having the top lane inhibitor going down and the Lord being at the bottom side of the map, your long lane is going to be very difficult for you to handle, especially TNZ showing his face as well, reminding them, the moment you guys look too deep into the Lord, your base is going to be gone.
This is so interesting because Ulfhednar had an opportunity to try and bait something out here, but Alien going to try his best, trying to maintain control of that bottom side as we see TNZ already forcing out Justinian. Winter Crown is straight into the fast item swap of the Immortality. He's not going to have any utility items for this upcoming fight.
Oh yeah, this is not going to feel good. And now Justinian having that Rolls gold meter to be able to deal with TNZ. Because right now TNZ doesn't have to have a good KDA. He just, oh, hold on.
Oh, Rosa losing 75% of his HP as TNZ wants a little bit more. Finds Justinian. Can they go? The Retribution has already been thrown out. TNZ is going to keep on rushing them down as on the opposite side, Lovely is going to lose his Immortality as TNZ takes down Reaper, no problem. GOA not even going to come out as the TP comes through. They are looking to try and stop Justinian from recalling it. Rosa checking bush by bush as the base is wide open and Ulfhednar tries to end this game with their honestly, a 5-man advantage here as Lovely and Reaper are currently down.
Insilio, they had split decisions there. We can definitely see they're sending Squad A and Squad B. 2 of you guys try to get a flank, get the kill. The others try to control Ulfhednar. And it looks like whatever forces that they sent was not enough. And now Ulfhednar with 6,000 gold lead here. Maniac.
Oh no!
At TNZ.
Oh my goodness! He's able to get the Oki Shadow kill off in time, and they also secure the Lord as they take out Justinian. Man, that was too close for comfort there.
I mean, good try, good try. Justinian could have gotten the Lord, could have maybe even gotten some kills, and then that could have turned things around. But now, looking at Insilio, you got to worry about this. Their wave clear is not the best. And Ulfhednar, they have shown that they can initiate the fights a little bit better, especially with that choke.
Haven't you noticed that both of these teams, a lot of it is just feinting their opponent, right? Look on this side, we're trying to take down your front line, but instantly attacking your back line. I mean, we've seen it so many times, but it happens so often in Wildcard compared to MPLs where we've seen them kind of brute force their way through.
Okay, looks like an instant replay will happen, but we gotta look at the base here because the base, the Lord is coming in, but no. Looking at the base.
Thanks, Zipper, as they're already in. GOA is going to come through. Revitalize not going to be enough as the damage is more than what he can take. And Sunshine is just cutting through the front line, jumping in the back line with the help of the Salmon Force. They go straight for the base, but they're running out of minions to work with. Apex 47 still pummeling the Crystal as Ulfhednar take game 1.
And taking it with confidence. They are forcing the fights. They are able to out-damage Insilio. Insilio saw what happened in game number 1, and now it's on them to respond. Are they gonna let Ulfhednar onto the mid? some kind of finisher. You got to take them down instantly. So something a little bit more proactive coming in from Lovely. But now we're going to look at the highlights here first and look at how Sunshine, even though he was the one that got ganked, he was the one that got the kills. And I feel like that really true an anchor inside of Insilio's plan is like, we want to take down Sunshine, but how? We came to him and we gave him kills. That's not the plan, guys.
Yeah, it's never the plan. You never want that to happen, especially on a gold laner who scales like Harith. It's really tough because I feel like even Justinian trying to look for these angles onto Sunshine, majority of the time, the problem is that, hey, he's got Purify. If we break that Purify, next thing you know, Apex 47 shows up with a third hit of G Kundo into a Flicker Dray of the Dragon combo.
Honestly, if we rewind back, look at the game. We talked about the difference in gold. Where was it? It was the gold and the EXP. If you look at the mid trio, it's more or less even. So if I was Insilio, I would attack that mid trio. Lovely so far. My personal, how do I say this? The way that I look at him, he's good at helping out his team.